Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome again. This is FADUA Accelerate Your Life 2020 and beyond. I am so excited to share this information with you today. I am here with Kim Wilhelm from Food Bank. She's the Director of Development for the Waterloo Region. Kim, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me today. I'm excited to speak to you about all the wonderful things that our team's been able to do at the food bank during this challenging time.
Yes, I'm sure. It has been a difficult time. Last time I had the opportunity to actually go to the food bank and I had an amazing tour. It was an amazing place for me to be because it was so surreal. Usually you see the food drives, but you have no idea what goes on after the food drive. So I really appreciate all of you and the team for inviting me and my other coworker at work. We had an amazing, amazing time, emotional at the same time, but very educational.
Good. I'm so glad to hear that. I mean, you raised a good point that the reality is people think that we're a small organization in a basement and we just have a bunch of cans and boxes around. But the reality is we're so much more.
Right.
Our warehouse is 35,000 square feet. And I would love to share with you that maybe you can post a video that, you know, sort of does a little bit of a walkthrough for those that aren't familiar.
Right.
We have a giant walk-in cooler, walk-in freezer, and we're so much more than cans of boxes that, you know, almost 70% of the food that we distribute every year is fresh or frozen.
Wow.
So the scope is a lot larger than what people realize.
Yes, there's a lot of work that goes through, right? You know, a lot of companies, organizations, communities, they take the initiative to do the food drive and all that, but that's the end of it for them.
Yeah.
Their work stops there, right? So for you, your work starts once the items are brought into your warehouse. That's where the work starts.
Exactly. We have an amazing team of staff and volunteers that work together in our warehouse on Alpine Court. And together we're able to ensure that food comes into the warehouse, but then is distributed to over 34,552 people on an annual basis who rely on the food bank to help get them through a challenging time that they're experiencing. So we're so grateful for the community that we live in to ensure that we're able to do that.
Yeah. What I was amazed during the tour, we had brought in some stuff that we had done at work, and we only brought 2 boxes. And I was amazed later on to find out the items that we had donated. We often think it's not enough. And we donated 2 boxes. It was 80 pounds worth of items. And it was enough to feed 63 families. 63 families, just 2 small boxes, you know, so it goes a long way. People shouldn't be discouraged, shouldn't they, when they donate?
Absolutely. Yeah. You know what? We are so fortunate to have some amazing relationship with food industry partners, both locally and provincially, that allows us to do more with their donations. And so we're able to take for every $1 that is donated, for example, we're able to provide 3 community meals locally. And that's because of the partnerships that we have. So we're so grateful for that.
That's really good. So there has been changes since the last time I was there. This was about 2 months ago. And I'm sure that you had to adjust to a lot of things, just like any organization, they had to adjust a lot of things. What are the things that you have as a community? What are the things you started adjusting, and what are the differences you've seen since then for the last 2 months?
So that's a big question, and I'm going to sort of break it out into a few different pieces, if that's okay. So you're right, we've had to significantly adjust our operations. On mid-March, I believe it was March 23rd, we activated our Community Food Assistance Network Pandemic Business Continuity Plan. And we did that in partnership with the region of Waterloo. And what that meant is on an annual basis, we work with over 100 community programs and agency partners locally. And what we did is we consolidated those over 100 programs into 30 vital service programs. And we did that for a few reasons. We needed to work with programs that had implemented additional health and safety practices for their staff. We needed to consolidate our own staff's operations with the work that they were delivering, the deliveries that we had. And so by consolidating that, it was actually, we only lost about 25% of the programs that were of the work that the programs were offering. And so the 30 vital programs and services actually took on that additional 25% work. And we've all really just shifted our focus to be able to distribute hampers. Prior to this pandemic, agencies would submit their orders and our staff and volunteers would go through the warehouse and pick their orders and send them food. And then the agencies would take that food that we would give them and they would transform it to whatever food program they were delivering. So sometimes it was a community meal program. Sometimes it was emergency hamper programs. That's been very difficult for our agencies to do during this time. So one of the things that's dramatically shifted and changed inside the walls of our operations is the staff and volunteers that are still working are actually building those food hampers before they leave the program. So on average, our team has been building, I'm going to say between 700 and 1,500 emergency food hampers on site, both perishable and non-perishable on a weekly basis. And it's actually between 700 and 1,500 perishable and then the same amount of non-perishable hampers, and delivering them to the program. So when they get to the programs, it's less work that those staff and volunteers have to do, and they can simply distribute the hamper and focus on some of the other vital services that each of them provide that are so important during this time. So that's been one significant change that we've had to make. Another, the way we receive donations has also changed. So you mentioned the food and fun drives that you were able to participate in. And a lot of those food drives happen through businesses, through schools, through community groups that are meeting on a regular basis. And as we all know, the way we do business and the way we connect with our friends and family has shifted. And so those meetings aren't happening. And it's more challenging for people to get to some of our drop-off locations to where we receive food. So the community food has really decreased, and we're having to purchase a lot more food now than what we did prior to the pandemic. And so right now for the Food Bank of Waterloo Region, because we're having to purchase so much more food, the financial donations from the community have been really imperative to help us with that, since those community food donations just aren't coming in the same way.
Okay, so it's like you mentioned, most of your donations was coming from businesses and community members, even schools getting involved. I remember, one of my schools, my son's school, they used to do the food drive on a daily basis. Yes. The local worship areas like mosques, they used to do food bank donations. I've participated in quite a few myself. So I know the importance on how, you really depend on the community and businesses and organizations. Now, majority of those businesses have shut down. Majority of those community areas where they used to be involved, they're no longer participating. So that has, like you mentioned, decreased the amount of items you're getting. Now, you end up you're spending money now. You're spending money to actually purchase. So
yes, we've always purchased some food, but not at the same volumes as what we're purchasing now.
Yeah. So do you find now you're actually tipping into the finances more than you were before? And is that an area where you feel the community needs, you need more involvement from the community?
Yes, it's an ongoing need because, I mean, the additional food that we're having to purchase, as well as some added supplies, and to ensure that our staff and volunteers are safe while they're working. There's been some additional supplies in order for us to put together those food hampers that we're building on site with our team. So there's definitely been an increase in what we're having to spend right now. And that's why the community, financial donations from the community are so important during this date. We've tried to make it easy for people, and we've started suggesting and encouraging the community to hold a virtual food and fun drive. So instead of being able to come together as a group and, you know, bringing your food items to the grocery store, what are the opportunities that the community can do something virtually? And we've got custom pages that different groups can put together, and so they really know how much money they're raising and the success of that. So we've had people that have done Zoom calls with friends, but they've committed to each other. We're going to do this, but we're thankful for what we have, and we're going to each donate $10, $20 to the Food Bank of Waterloo Region. And so it's really neat to see the creative ways the communities come together with those virtual food drives.
That's quite true, actually. It's amazing how people can come through past the adversity. And
Yes.
This is a time where everybody had to adjust to the changes. During pandemic, everyone is at home, isolated. And for everyone to come in together and say, okay, you know what, I can help, I can contribute. And I'm pretty sure right now, this is the time where majority of people are in need of that service, correct?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the reality is, at any time, circumstances can change for people at any time, and we never know when that's going to happen. It could be a family illness. It could be a loss of job. There's so many reasons. And right now, unfortunately, the community is having to experience this together. There's many people that have lost their jobs and are looking for ways to feed their family. It's a very challenging time for everyone. So, I mean, we're fortunate, again, that we live in a community where some individuals have multiple people in the home that are still able to work remotely and bring in an income. We have some community members that one family member is out of work, and some where both parents, for an example, have lost their job and are concerned about that next meal for their family. So those that are fortunate enough have been able to contribute financially so that we're able to continue on with our essential work and ensure that those that aren't as fortunate during this time get the food on the table.
Okay, that's wonderful. What system in place have you put in for your workers and volunteers?
Yeah, so we have we've limited the number of people that are coming into the building. So some of our office staff that are able to work remotely are at home and not coming into the office on a daily basis. Our warehouse staff, we've increased our cleaning. We are ensuring that we have protective gear available to all staff and volunteers, and we're screening volunteers at the door when they come in to ensure that they haven't been in contact with somebody that has COVID, or there's a chance. We've increased hand sanitizer, soap stations throughout the building, and made sure that nobody has traveled in the last 14 days. We've also kept the volunteers that are coming into a very core group. So we're not regularly introducing new people into the building on a regular basis. But it does mean that there's been a bit of an increase workload with the work that we've been doing.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. I'm sure like before you had a number of staff, number of volunteers,
Mhm.
and right now you had to cut down on that number just to be on the safe side. So
Yeah,
what are
safety.
the things? Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say safety is the utmost important, and we really want to ensure that at all times that we're practicing social distancing in our warehouse. And like I said, we have protective gear in place for our staff and our volunteers um, to operate the essential work at all times.
That's true. Safety comes
Mhm.
first. You want to make
Yeah,
sure you protect everyone so they can provide a better service to you and everyone else, right?
exactly. And those that are working from home are not coming into the building during regular office hours. If there is something that they need to come into the building, they're coming in off hours to ensure that there's that distancing between those that are working at home and those that are coming into the office.
Absolutely. Makes sense a lot. So what are the things that you would like for community members to know? What are the things are you most challenged with? What are the things you're looking to get help with and assistance with?
Mm-hmm. So right now, I'll speak to volunteers. So many people have offered to come and volunteer with us. And at this time, because of the increased safety measures that we've put in place and the fact that we're limiting um, access to the building, we actually don't need any new volunteers at this time. But it is something that we're monitoring daily, and we're definitely tracking all the requests that come in. So if at a time we do need those volunteers, we have people that we can call on. So that's something that we've been asked regularly. So at this time, there's not a new need for volunteers. Because of the shifts and change in the way we can accept food, financial donations really are important right now. A lot of our fundraising events that also bring in a lot of food have also been canceled. And so we are looking to the community, if you are able to support the Food Bank of Waterloo Region through a financial donation. And that can be made very easily on our website at thefoodbank.ca.
That's wonderful. So basically, we need the world, the world needs each other. And for us to
Absolutely.
support one another, to make sure there's food served for each family member who doesn't have, we want to make sure no one goes hungry. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The other thing that I really would like to share is, if you know somebody or you yourself need help during this time with food, please go to our website, thefoodbank.ca, and the vital service programs that are offering food distribution right now are listed on our website. So please take use of those services that exist in the community if you need it.
Okay. So there are places that people can go to. It's not being shut down. They have accessibility.
Yes, yes.
Is there anything else you would like to add for the community members to know?
Well, I think that I just need to give a big thank you to everyone who has supported us during this time. The donations have gone a long, long way to enable us to continue doing the essential work that we do in the community. So a huge thank you for coming together and being there for each other is so appreciated right now. So from the bottom of my heart.
That's really amazing. Full of gratitude, Kim. That's amazing. Who would have known, the food bank will be turning away volunteers, right?
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've always said that I'm in a profession right now where I would love to be out of work because the food bank didn't have to exist. But the reality is, I am so thankful that we are here to help those in need.
Yes. And helping those in need, making sure that no one goes to bed hungry, and whatever you can afford for everyone here in KW, Kitchener-Waterloo, helping your own community.
Exactly.
What do they say? Charity starts at home. And
Yes.
we cannot help somebody outside of our own region. We have to start from our own region and support those families and make sure that each family, when they go to bed, they're not hungry. Whatever little amount, like I mentioned, we had 2 small boxes. It was only 80 pounds, and it was enough to feed 63 families. So imagine what your cash donation will do.
Exactly. Every dollar is able to provide 3 meals.
That's really, really good. And you will not even think like that. I know last time when I was there, I was told even just taking one single meal, you know, just even a canned tuna can turn into 3-4 different meals for a family. Yes, yes.
Yeah, we're so grateful for the partnerships that we have in the community that enables us to do that.
Okay. So for now, before, you know, everything ends post-pandemic, then we cross that bridge when we get there. But for now, we deal with things as they are. Right now, the not the World Food Bank, but the Kitchener-Waterloo Region Food Bank is in need of your help. Finances, I know most people at home, they are not working, but even a dollar feeds 3 families. So just making sure that whatever you have, you share with others. Is there anything you would like to put in closing, Kim?
I don't think so, but thank you for taking the time to take time out of your day to educate the community about the work that the food bank does. So thank you.
This is, you're most welcome. This is personal for me. I had mentioned this earlier. The food bank is not just, you know, a community where you're donating. For me, I experienced that. I have been in a situation where I was homeless. I was in a place where I could see food bank donating back to the community, to the homeless shelter. I have seen that firsthand. I have seen what it did for me and my family. So for me, this is personal. This is personal. So I encourage everyone, you don't know who's in need. You don't know. You may see somebody happy, smiling, go lucky, healthy, but you don't know what their situation is. You know, so for us to just take that step and say, you know what, I will contribute, whatever I have, contribute. $1, $2, $3, that's a family. Just even contributing a family for the month, that's amazing. Each one of us, if we could do that, imagine how many homes we'll be feeding today.
Yeah, you're right. Thank you for sharing that personal story with me. Appreciate that.
Yeah, most welcome. I know myself, and there's a lot of people who are there. They don't voice it out. Some, it's maybe because there's a stigma surrounded by it, right? People feel shame, you know. I'm not that of a person to go in and get donation from food bank, right? But there are times that you will get to that area one day and you don't know, and the food bank is there to support you. And the food bank was there to support me and my family. So I'm very, very grateful for that.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Kim, for joining us today. Everyone, this is Accelerate Your Life 2020 and beyond. And what Accelerate Your Life means, you cannot move forward with your life without helping others. You cannot take a step forward without taking another person's with you. You cannot move on with your life while leaving others behind you. So Accelerate Your Life 2020 is all about giving. And this is the best time. COVID-19 has brought people together, has brought communities together, has brought people in ways that they never thought possible. Yes, we are self-isolating, but we are also in a place where we can give in our own home. So reach out to your computer, go in there, sign up, and put in your donations, get all your community, your friends, your families, and say, you know what, each family member, we're going to donate this amount, even if it's $1 per family member, and see what the magic will do. Thank you so much, Kim, again. This is Kim, who's joined me today. Thank you very much. And we'll connect soon.
All right,
and God bless to everyone. God bless to everyone who has donated. Thank you very much.
Bye.